and we are live with the punch list this week.
I don't believe it. That's too good to be true. It can't be true.
Yeah, if we don't spend the first 15 or 20 seconds saying, "Are we live? Are we live?" Is it really a live video?
Exactly. Yeah.
I am Abram. I'm here with Clave from nerdsonearth.com website.
Yep. That's a website
And
for nerdy people by nerdy people
about nerdy things.
about nerdy things.
It's all nerds all the time.
Yeah.
And every Wednesday we break down the previous week's nerdy news via the punch list. We take 7 articles from all over nerddom. It could be comics, Marvel, board games, Dungeons and Dragons, other tabletop games, movies,
Yeah.
Star Wars,
Yeah.
all those great things, and we compile the news so you have a one-stop shop for all your nerdy news needs.
You listed all the things I love.
Well,
let's
you're
talk
in the
about
right
it.
place then.
Yeah. Totally.
And I got a little monsoon thunderstorm going on, so a little ambient sounds perhaps for
There we
the
go.
viewing audience.
Sirenscape. Yeah.
Sirenscape. That's exactly right. Turn on the monsoon sound set. All right, so let's break it down. Number 7 for this week. Ready Player 2 publication date announced for the new novel by Ernest Cline. So obviously the sequel to the hit Ready Player 1. I love when the book itself, the title, has a perfectly built-in segue for a sequel title. It's perfect.
Totally. I don't know if he planned it, but he couldn't have planned it any better, right?
Oh no, he got it.
Now, have you read the book or just watched the movie?
Both. I've done both.
I've done both as well.
And I don't know. I like both. The movie kind of gets not so great rap by those who have read the book, which is it's pretty common across movie book adaptations. But it raked in a ton of dough. People watched it. So November 24th is the date for this. I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of time frame. The first one obviously laden with pop culture references all over the place.
Right.
Mostly like 80s, 90s.
Well, that was going to be my question, because you're a 90s kid and it was 80s reference. It was dropping Tomb of Horrors and Joust, which, as an aside, one day you and I are going to talk about old school video game arcade cabinets.
Oh, I'm
not
good.
Not the fancy ones. I'm talking about the old ones with just one joystick and 2 buttons.
I love those. Clave, I love those.
Joust was brilliant, and so so every I was one of those nerds that every reference that gun down. It's like, that's what I was into as a kid.
You say I'm a 90s kid, but I was born in November '89, so I like to say I'm born of the 80s.
Yeah. So they say age 7 to 12. So age 7 to 12 is kind of your sweet spot.
Yeah. So I don't know.
You was in the 90s.
That's fair. That's fair. So I don't know. I got a lot of the references. You bring up the arcade stuff. I've always loved Joust. Is one of my favorites. I love Joust.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, but all those. Joust, Galaga's really my jam.
Yeah.
But, So November 24th, pre-orders are up now for the new book, and a movie's coming too. But how about let's read the book first.
Solid. And before we move on, this guy right here has the all-time high score for Donkey Kong Jr. 3 cabinet arcade at the Pizza Mart back where he lived, and that will go down as a record because the place closed and they took out the machine. So I'm saying that I have the all-time record that has never been beaten.
Okay, well, if they bring in the machine and it's the last day and they're closing the doors and you're like, "Wait, sir, I have some quarters," and then you play, and you're the only one on the machine. Does it count? I don't know.
Yeah.
Was that?
Doesn't matter. High score.
Donkey Kong Jr. 3.
I am player 1. Donkey Kong Jr. something, one of the numbers. Doesn't matter. I have the high score. Let's not get into details.
I'm jotting down
because it tears apart my story.
I'm jotting down in my journal that I will find this game. I will become a master. I'll become a master. All right, let me mark that one off. So good. Ready Player 2, November. Get that pre-ordered if you are looking forward to it. Number 6.
Wherever books are sold.
Number 6. We're going to talk a little TV now for the next couple here.
Okay.
Number 6, The Umbrella Academy Season 2 trailer has dropped. So Season 2 is not out yet. It's coming out in 2 weeks now. End of July. But The Umbrella Academy, based on comic, and the first season was on Netflix last year. Have you watched?
Well, I know there was a lot of chatter in the Nerds on Earth Discord. A lot of the nerds watched it, and our buddy Nash, who hello Nash,
who
Nash, got us into Marvel Strike Force, and so he was chattering about it in particular. And I did watch a few episodes because it's got the Sunny D girl from Juno, and I was like, well, this will be good. And I enjoyed it, but it's a little sad. Everyone was kind of sad and mopey, and I'm like, I kind of need a little more fun. Like I'm shallow. I need people to be a little happier. I can't handle all this emotional distress. So I didn't finish season 1, but I'm certainly excited about season 2 because it's popular and a lot of folks liked it. So I root for those folks who get to enjoy season 2.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that. Season 1's kind of a slow burn where it really picks up at the end.
Good.
But the trailer for season 2, there's a lot going on, and I'm like, I gotta go back and watch season 1 because what is going on here? Maybe I missed something.
Do it. Re-binge.
I might.
Re-binge of the nerds.
Re-binge of the nerds. Ooh, that's a good. I gotta write that down. A lot of choice nuggets coming from Clave today.
We should trademark that.
Re-binge of the nerds. I don't know what we could use that for. We'll find something. You can always find something.
Use it for the punch list.
Punch list. Re-binge of the nerds. Maybe when we go through and we do some big TV top 7 breakdown or something, we'll do re-binge of the nerds.
The end of 2020, we're going to have some great punch lists. They're just going to be recaps.
Top
7 news items of comics, or top 7 news items of Netflix. It's going to be awesome.
On those rare weeks,
tuning in worldwide.
Yeah, you can turn the dial and tweak your rabbit ears. We'll come in on your analog. All right, so the Umbrella Academy. July 31st, don't miss it, season 2. I'm going to be on that right away. Speaking of rewatching, number 5, the show on Amazon Prime, The Boys, season 2 trailer also dropped. I think it was either the same day or the day after Umbrella Academy trailer dropped.
It is a golden era for nerd TV. I mean, it's an abundance of riches, and we have so many good things. And in fact, there are so many things that I often like. Okay, sorry. This is a little aside.
Let's go.
One time I was watching I don't know, it was like HGTV or something. I don't know, but there was like this supermarket showdown. I don't even know if this show is a thing.
Guys, grocery games.
Yeah, so they win like $1,000 shopping spree at the grocery store, and so I'm watching this, and they have like 2 minutes to get all the frozen turkeys they can haul in, and so it's like 3, 2, 1, go, and she's just froze, and she's like, and it was all just too good, man. Like she was just too excited. There was just too many options, and she froze up. And I feel like that's the way I am when it comes to something to watch. I'm like, there's just too many shows, and so sometimes I just freeze up and I don't watch anything.
Yeah, and then
that's a sad ending to my story.
Well, and then you get the whole other side of that where a lot of people just kind of glob on and want to watch the same things that they love. Like I love rewatching stuff that shows that even if it's 8 seasons long, I'm like, well, guess I'm starting at the beginning and I'm gonna relive this.
Okay. This is to see how well you love me. Like if I can rewatch something, what am I rewatching?
Ah, jeez, Clave, come on. If you had to rewatch the MCU?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just watching Captain America: Winter Soldier again. Why not? It's awesome.
Oh man, that is a good one. See, and then every time someone says, "Oh, I'm rewatching an MCU movie," I'm like, "I want to rewatch an MCU movie, but I don't have. There's 24 hours in a day, and I need to sleep and work."
I gotta earn a living. I can't just watch Captain America.
So, Boys season 2. I love season 1. It's it's a darker superhero thing, but it's just good. It's really good. Yeah. So I don't think season 2 is actually dropping until like November or December. So
November's gonna be big.
It's gonna be a big November. So check that out. Check out the trailer if you want for The Boys, Amazon Prime. Number 4, Kang, the Conqueror, has invaded the board game space. Marvel Champions has a new expansion with a brilliant name, Clave. The once and future King.
Yeah, I love it.
The guy.
It's a dad joke and a board game expansion. I love it.
Whoever came up with that is, they got a promotion for sure.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so do you play Marvel?
I haven't played Marvel Champions, and I know that you love
clearly
Marvel.
You haven't read Nerds on Earth and how often I'm like, this game is awesome.
Oh, I know.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So you have obviously hero packs, and so the heroes, it's really wonderfully well done the way Fantasy Flight has created the game. So you have your character, but then you can also kind of hot swap in these different aspects to them, which is so a Captain America leadership deck, which is one of the aspects, is different than a Captain America aggression deck, which is another aspect.
Okay.
So that's really cool. And so you have Captain America, and then you have different villain scenarios. So the base game comes with a ton, and then every month they release an expansion. So I think last month was Black Widow, this month was Doctor Strange. And so they released different heroes, and then they also released big villain packs. The last big villain pack was the Wrecking Crew. You're Spider-Man. It was awesome. So it's got like Pile Driver and Bulldozer and so you
heavy hitters.
You play through. The game plays incredibly well solo. It's a lot of fun solo. Sometimes I'll double deck it. I'm just like I'm
both.
Play. So that's fun as well. But it's a great multiplayer game. Play it with my nephews. So it's a lot of fun. I'm super excited to get more villain decks. I think the next big thing coming is a big expansion campaign box. So it's the moral of this story, long-winded story, is it's an excellent game, super great game. It's super well supported. It's the kind of game where you'll want to get it, and then you're like, yeah, I'm having fun. I got to get this. I need 15 more bucks because I got to get this hero pack. Got to do it. It has to happen.
It's got to go in your budget.
Yeah. So that's Marvel Champions. It's a good game. It was, it's kind of hard to get it at first because it was kind of selling out, but you can get it now.
And it hasn't been out that long, right? So this is still kind of like ground floor. That if you really want to get into it, is there a lot of back catalog?
Yeah, I think it was last Gen Con, right? Last year at Gen Con. Remember when conventions were a thing?
I remember it.
Way back when there used to be these things called conventions, and so I think it was last year at this time. So it's coming up on a year.
Okay, so yeah, good. I really when we meet up, we'll have to play some Marvel Champions.
You have no excuse now, buddy, because it has Kang.
What else do you need?
Nothing.
It's royalty.
But I want more.
It's royalty. All right, so the once and future Kang, number 4. Number 3 on the punch list this week, we're shifting gears to Star Wars land. Star Wars not the Big Batch, the Bad Batch gets the Big Bad Batch gets a spin-off series.
Alliteration's hard.
I know it is.
You're doing great.
It was only 2 B's, and I wanted to do 3. The Bad Batch gets a spin-off series on Disney Plus. So this is an animated series based off the Clone Wars, something with the animated Clone Wars. I don't know enough about it. I'm not going to talk intelligently about it.
Yeah, Yeah, you and I have talked about this before. We're not really animated guys. We prefer live action, so I haven't really kept up with. But I'm super excited. I mean, it sounds amazing, and don't quote me on this, but I have a hunch that Disney Plus is going to make it. I think it's uh I think it's going to succeed in the marketplace.
I don't know. Do they have
Yes,
a good track record with shows?
yeah, it's just a hunch.
Is Star
They
Wars
have,
even popular? What is Star Wars? I thought it was such a niche thing.
yeah. But the first thing I thought of is Karen Travis was this. She wrote some of the old Star Wars books that are now the Marvel's legacy. The old expanded universe canon, and she wrote some. Uh, Kind of the elevator pitch was a little crew of clone trooper um, special ops that kind of went good, and they kind of did the Finn thing, and they're away from the Empire, and they're going to kind of do their. It was fantastic. I think there were 3 or 4 of the books. Our buddy at Nerds on Earth, Carrie, loves those books. I love those books. They were some of the best Star Wars books ever written by far. They were right up there with the original Thrawn trilogy. So that's the first thing that this kind of reminded me of, and I'm like, okay, if that genre is just a lot of fun, and so I'm excited. Again, not knowing anything about the beautiful big bad bunch, but
the Brady
I'm
Bad Bunch.
I'm excited for it. Right.
Yeah, I mean the Clone Wars just by itself is its own really cool
Yeah,
piece of Star
yeah.
Wars history
It's a
lore.
rich setting for stories.
So the Bad Batch, Big Bad Batch, whatever you want to call it, it is coming to Disney Plus at some point. It's just announced, so
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk about it in the future when we get that trailer.
As long as we get more Baby Yoda.
That is, people are clamoring, Clay. Where is more Baby Yoda? Give me more Mandalorian.
I need it.
And I see him in the background.
I need Baby Yoda.
I see.
Yeah,
them.
they're so cute.
They are cute.
Yeah.
Number 2. Now this is actually kind of news from 2019, but 2019 was a comparatively good year. North American comic sales hit a all-time record, $1.21 billion last year, which is
With a B.
insane. With a B, a capital
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it seems like graphic novels are the most, that's what people are globbing on most of all. But also, and we've talked about it previously, those that are marketed more towards children are kind of surging too. As it's all about getting those fandom nerd roots in at a young age, and then watching that nerd seed grow into a big love of whatever.
Yeah. Well, this is something we cover on Nerds on Earth a lot, so we don't need to relitigate it. But kind of talking about the business of, and I think the moral of the story is, it's several factors. Marvel was in, I mean, comics are not the selling millions of copies like they did in the '90s, right? The bubble burst, whatever. But Marvel Comics are in a healthy place, and as the market leader, when your market leader's in the healthy place, and CB Cebulski, the new editor in chief, is by all sense person doing a bang up job. They kind of have this Jim Shooter of the '80s throwback comics, while also bringing out some really new titles and new characters. So it's they're doing well. I mean, some of the issues that they still have, the constant crossovers and kind of the relaunches and that are drive collectors crazy are still there. But the moral of the story is they're doing well, right?
Right.
So that's one thing. But the big thing, to your point, is the graphic novels, and it's oh gosh, what's her name that wrote Drama and Sisters Rena Telmeger.
Yeah.
But Drama, Sisters, and they're about 120 page graphic novel in your perfect bound, kind of the 6-inch by 8-inch format at Tween Girls. My daughter has all of them. One time she spilt water on one and it just crushed her, so she had to get a new copy. and they've sold multi-millions of dollars in Target and at Scholastic Book Fairs. Scholastic Book Fairs are another factor because you have characters like Squirrel Girl
Mm-hmm.
and Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and some of these characters that as grown men we're like, oh, whatever. But at these Scholastic Book Fairs, these junior high kids are loving these graphic novels, and they get them right during school time, and they're going gangbusters. And so it's young readers. It's getting these other stories, Captain Underpants and Dog Boy and those sort of things that are in Target and Barnes and Noble.
Mm-hmm.
And so the entire ecosystem is doing pretty well. I mean, in the billions. And so I think that's particularly good news. Again, it's 2019.
Yeah,
things
we'll see.
are weird in 2020 when shops are closed, and now DC ditched Diamond, and distribution is weird. My local shop is like, all of their DC data was wiped out because of this, and so they're trying to rebuild their entire. Anyone that subscribed to DC before has to redo it. So anytime you have to redo something,
you're losing people.
You lose a percentage. So there's but that's great news. Big sales in 2019.
Yeah. So we'll see what the future brings for comics. I mean, comics, they're in a new sort of heyday right now. So
yeah.
It's
yeah. And so it's not so much this, obviously the shiny stuff is on screen, right? In the MCU. And so it's not like this golden era heyday, glitz and glam, the foil covered 90s of 1 million copies. The 1 million copies is being sold, to tween girls at Target. And so it's a lot. It shifts. It's changed. It doesn't look the way it used to, but it's healthy, which is good.
That is good. Yep. It's always good to get that next, get the next generation going and keeping people interested. So it's not just, older people just globbing onto those comics too. So, but we need our stories.
Yep.
Number 1.
The top.
The top. In no particular order. Far Cry 6. Another trailer, Clave. Far Cry 6 releases their cinematic trailer, which features Giancarlo Esposito. For the next Far Cry installment. And that's being released next February 2021. But I don't know.
Now, is that on next gen consoles? I didn't watch it. So is that PS5?
I think it's going to be on next gen. I would assume. Okay. I can't remember in the trailer if they
push those graphics.
Yeah, they're going to push it to the next level. It's an uncanny valley. They're too real. Things are getting too real for me. But Far Cry series, it's open world exploration. Taking down, infiltrating bases. A lot of different ways you can play. A lot of them have like sort of hunting elements with like wildlife and stuff like that. Just really gorgeous worlds that they create, and good stories too. So, number 6, clearly what they're doing, people like.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and when you get to number 6 in the franchise, by definition, it's got to be good. Just look at the Police Academy series, right? Is that the best example? No?
I don't. You lost. You really lost me on that one. That was just like, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Steve Guttenberg. Come on, '90s kid. Let's go back to
'90s kid. Yeah, I'm a '90s kid. What are you talking about? I'm a '90s kid.
Yeah. No. I'm in full on dad mode. So my hardcore next gen console gaming is probably, sadly, alas, passed me by. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited.
Yeah. What more do you want?
Wait to live vicariously through some of the nerds on our Discord.
Oh, I already know. I can see a couple people picking that up day one, and I'm excited for them too. So, all right. We broke it through 7 news segments. So we'll just do a quick summary at the top. Number 7. Ready Player 2 publication date announced for November 24th. Number 6, Season 2 Umbrella Academy trailer is dropped, so go take a peek. Number 5, The Boys Season 2 trailer also dropped. That's coming later this year.
In November again, right?
I don't know. I said November, but I don't know. It's sometime.
Let's just say it's November.
Sometime, yeah.
It's canon now.
Yeah. Well, it's tomorrow. No, that's canon. All right. Tune in tomorrow. Number 4, Kang Conqueror invades Marvel Champions board game with the once and future Kang.
Yep.
Number 3, The Bad Batch. Star Wars getting a spin-off series, Disney Plus, for all of you animated Star Wars fans. Number 2, the North American Comics set a sales record $1.21 billion last year. And lastly, number 1, Far Cry 6 released their cinematic trailer for the latest Far Cry installment coming at you in February of next year.
They can't put it out in November?
Let's put it out tomorrow. It's coming out tomorrow. Wow, tomorrow's gonna be a big day. Good thing I don't have to do a punch list. Yeah, I've got to watch a bunch of shows and pick up a new video game tomorrow. I'm excited.
And play Marvel Champions.
Clave, I need to play some Marvel Champions.
You really do. You'd enjoy it.
I got Marvel Legendary, but I need to fill the void between this and Marvel United and Marvel Splendor.
Yeah. You need it all.
I need it all. Well, that's the punch list. Thanks for...
Good talk, Abram. You're awesome.
You too, Clave. I appreciate it. See you later, nerds. Catch us next week.
All right. Later, nerds.
Bye.